Kahlo is not a horrible painter. Was that head thing too much? So on the topic of Frida Kahlo, I get extremely personally offended when Mr. Michael says that Frida Kahlo is not a good painter. First of all, some may argue that Frida Kahlo was a self-absorbed and illustrative painter who didn't actually do anything for the act of painting. Michael didn't say that, but did quite a lot for her own self-renewal. I don't know what that means. What makes a painter good anyway? Really, we're all just throwing around a lot of paint on a lot of empty space, and a lot of it looks really bad. And some of it looks really cool! So basically, I can see how someone would argue the fact that Frida Kahlo maybe is a little bit illustrative. I mean, she's not a classical painter. She's not painting the Mona Lisa. She's painting a fucking self in a wheelchair, crippled and with a broken column with monkeys on either side of her head and butterflies in her hair. I mean, what is that anyway? Why does anyone care? Why does anyone care about Frida Kahlo at all? But obviously, her personal strife has some resonance in the lives of other people, which is why they look at her paintings. And at some point, I think you would have to argue that the fact that people even value looking at her paintings makes her a good painter. If this is an argument about the way that artists handle their paint, then I think we have a lot of artists that we should be looking at. You should look at Da Vinci. You should look at Van Gogh. You should look at Picasso. Hey Picasso, I painted like this when I was 5 years old. You should look at Monet, Dali, Matisse, Warhol, Magritte, Rembrandt, Kandinsky, Klimt, O'Keeffe. How many of these artists do we actually think are good painters? That's right, kids. Absolutely zero. By zero, I mean all of them. You know why Dali was a good painter? Because he made shit that looked cool and was like super realistic, and people were like, ooh, that looks cool and it's super realistic. You know why Georgia O'Keeffe was a good painter? I don't know. She painted a lot of vagina flowers. They're not vagina. Van Gogh cut his ear off. Monet made a lot of pretty sunsets. They're all good painters. They're all good painters because we all like them. Isn't that what makes them good? Isn't good music good because we like it? Isn't bad music bad because we don't like it? I will never agree that Frida Kahlo is a bad painter! I will agree that Frida Kahlo's imagery sometimes outshines her actual painting ability. But she's not a horrible painter. She is a really, 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 really good painter. You know how I know she's a good painter? Because she had a show at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. You know why else I know she's a really good painter? Because her biography is this thick. Dude, you're so totally wrong about this, I can't even pretend to like you anymore.